Greetings everyone and welcome to another Dominaria United traditional draft. What a pack it is. Let's first dismiss all the commons. There are none of the actually premium commons in here, but all of the uncommons are great. Or maybe not great, but I mean ranging from good to amazing, and then the rare is also totally a reasonable card. So of course, first what comes to mind is that if you would just open this pack in sealed, you would have two amazing uncommons and one amazing rare for the blue-red instant and sorceries focus deck. There's an Isoba Brawler, which is probably one of the better things you can do in this limited format when it comes to uncommons, but I have played so many domain decks that I'm not gonna take it, and the infantry is better than the runner. Now the question is, should I take the rare or the infantry? Both want to have a number of instant and sorceries. I guess I'll take the Djinn here, but I mean, it could have been the 2-mana thing, because it's very easy to get it to cost, it will always cost 2, but it's very easy to get one counter to it. Shouldn't really require much, and once you have about 2-mana 2/3 Trembler, that's already worth it. And then the upside is that you can just continue, obviously, making it grow in size, and it can just take over the game unless the opponent can answer it somehow. Now this pack, there are basically two options. There's a Phyrexian Rager and there's a Tolarian Geyser. In a vacuum, maybe I would prefer a Rager after picking whatever 1-drop, because I slightly more like this thing. But given my first pick, the Tolarian Geyser should be rather easy. And I actually would prefer to be blue-red if I can with this combination, but blue-black spells is also a thing, so that would work. But let's take the Geyser here, works perfectly with the first pick here. Don't see much red here. But of course I haven't decided about my second color, it can be any of them. The thing I like about this format is that you can play any 2-color deck. I think there's no really amazingly bad archetypes. Well, I can take another Geyser here, there's no reason to deviate from that. The pack doesn't even have anything that, basically anything that would contest that pick. Okay, there's the Placewalker rare, so you are unlikely to have a limited deck where this does anything, so let's not take that. There's a Wineshaper Prodigy though. There's another Phyrexian Rager. Well, I'm gonna have to abandon the red plan. Well, it's a plan that I had in my mind, but of course I haven't even committed to that plan at all because there's no red cards in there. But it's a question between the Rager and the Prodigy. I quite like this. Useful both at 2 and 4 mana. It's not blue-green isn't the greatest instant or sorceries deck though. Oh man, which am I gonna take? I really like the Rager though, always draws a card. Okay, I'll take the Rager now, not gonna pass another one. And there's no green in here, so I'm happy about that pick. There is actually, wow, interestingly what I do see here, I think I'm gonna take the Lookout because I'm not convinced the red will be open, but there's both the Timely Interference and the Key to Amplifier, which are good. But then again, this is mostly a blue-red deck, blue-red card, so people who are into red to my right wouldn't pick this card very high anyway, so maybe it's not a surprise I see it this late. I'm gonna take the Lookout no matter what. Okay, now, alright. What to do? What to pick? Negate, I like it as a sideboard card. I could take the Beachfront if I want to play or splash something that's white. There's a Griffin Protector, but I just took a 4-mana flyer. Maybe I don't need another one. And if I want to prepare to be blue-red, I should take the Steel Crusher. I think it's between the Negate and the Steel Crusher. I don't think the Griffin Protector is high priority here at all. I'll take this just in case I will end up blue-red here. Okay, I see some black here. Don't care about these counter spells, although SS Scatter actually I do. I should have said I don't care about these 3-mana counter spells, but SS Scatter definitely great. Impulse in any kind of a instant or sorcery deck is also good. I could just take a 2-drop though. I would like to play the Rager, so it's between SS Scatter and Splatter Goblin, I think. I do like the board presence slightly more, and I feel like I'm going to be blue, black, although that might change still. Here anyway, I'll take another Steel Crusher. I didn't get anything, so this is the pack I opened. There were, you know, the uncommons that supported blue-red, but I didn't get any of that. There is a Fire Tornado, there's a Soaring Drake. Smash to dust. Now, if I'm blue-red, do I care about the Fire Tornado? If I'm blue-black, I should take the Drake, but I don't think the Drake is high priority. I'll take this thing, and I'll keep the option open to be either blue-black or blue-red. I don't think I'm gonna deviate from blue at this point anymore. Alright, am I gonna take Molten Monstrosity? It shouldn't be too hard to make it cost 5, and at that point it's like, okay, I'm not feeling a need to take this. So I'm actually kind of moving towards blue-red now, but that might still change. Out of these options, I would prefer the picker here. I mean, even if those if the cards were same color, the 3-2 and this, I would still take the picker. And let's take the Illusionist, which I don't actually plan on playing unless I have a lot of off-color kicker costs. Then this would be one way to enable them. And I will also cut the black for now. I will try to be blue-red. Sadly, I didn't get back any of that good stuff. Any of the good stuff that I passed earlier, I didn't get any of that back. But this is an acceptable start to a draft. Okay, Impede Momentum. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it in the main, but I'll put it to the sideboard for now. Alright, so this pack has of course a great black card if I wanted to follow that route. There's also another Wineshaper Prodigy. Oh man, so I'm not taking another Molten Monstrosity, it's just not happening. I'll take the Extinguish the Light, and I can still be black. I will put it to the sideboard because I feel like I will be blue-red, but that might just change. I think I wouldn't have minded a Dragon Whelp. I think it's a good card. 4 mana 2/3 flyer with Fire Breathing is it should be good in limited. It is. I'm pretty sure it is. But Defiler of Flesh, 4 mana 4/4 Menace, and then this is actually maybe the weakest trigger for this Defiler, although it's very aggressive, +1/+1 and Menace to any creature. But I think it's still, I mean, not the strongest trigger for the black permanents, but the creature is still very good. 4 mana 4/4 Menace. Alright, you know what? Since I took the Extinguish the Light, I'm again thinking about blue and black, and I was almost sad there because I saw the key to Amplifier first out of this pack, and I was like, okay, now there's a blue-red card. But there's also Rona's Vortex and a Extinguish the Light #2. Vortex is better because of the flexibility and doesn't require double black, but I would be happy with either of these. Okay, it's gonna be so that I'm gonna cut the red now. This is how you draft I mean, you stay open in the draft. And in these modern draft sets, there are so many playables that you don't have to stick to your colors that early. You can really, you know, deviate change a bit during the draft until you have locked to your colors, because there will be enough playables, and I'd rather just maximize the good cards and then fill the rest of the deck with those playables, rather than stick to some certain color combination and then miss out on some good cards just out of the fear that I will not have enough playables. That shouldn't be happening. You should have enough playables. Alright, so this is okay-ish. Repossession. I don't like the Argosy. I talk too much. I don't think I like the repossession here. I'll take the Founding the Third Path. I don't think it's currently going to be in the deck, but who knows, maybe that will change. Alright, another Rona's Vortex, very easy pick. Let's move on. So, first of all, there's chapter 1, but of course this has a read ahead. But the problem with this thing is that you would really have to care about the mill to make this card worth it. I mean, the chapter 3 doesn't get you a card. You get to recast a card. I don't think it's gonna be that great, but I can appreciate the Rona in this blue-black deck. So let's take that, and actually I'm gonna cut there. Now there are cards that, you know, really care about having stuff in graveyard. So when you care about the mill, you can play this card, but this deck doesn't really. I don't even have either the blue or the black big common that, you know, count certain type of cards in your graveyard. So Pilfer, sure. In this deck, I'm willing to main deck it because I care about having instant and sorceries. That said, I don't have that many. Well, anyway, it might still be cut, but currently it's in the deck. Impulse, Counterspell, Sea Scavenger. Now, in this deck, this is just a 3 mana 3/2. Look at the top two and either put both of them onto the bottom or keep one on the top. Scorn, Impulse. I think I'll just take the Impulse. I don't like the 3 mana Counterspell that much. Okay, should I take a Vivisector here? I'm thinking about this if I get some green kicker. I actually have one already. Do I need a 2-drop? I guess I might need a 2-drop, so let's take a 2-drop. And here, Essence Scatter, easy pick now. None of this matters. Another negate for the sideboard. I could see sideboarding 2 in. Okay, the Battle Rage's Blessing is a playable card. Okay, so blue-black it is. This is a fairly weak pack, but I think with the double guys I might be a little bit on the aggressive side. So I'm actually playing the picking and playing the Toxic Abomination. Also, one thing to keep in mind that you want to have a number of black permanent spells if you have this Defiler of Flesh. It's quite I mean, even though a 4 mana 4/4 menace is good, you would prefer to get some triggers out of it as well. For the card to get the full potential out of this card. Okay, and then I have this kind of a pack. Now there's something good for red, but I don't even have a way to splash, so I'm going to just straight up ignore the Lightning Strike. There's a Timely Interference, which is still playable without the kicker. There's a Splatter Goblin, there's a Bone Splinters. I think I should still take a 2-drop here. And it's a black permanent for the Defiler, so let's do it. How many creatures? I have 9 creatures and 9 non-creatures. Alright, now... Okay, well, then we have this pack. This pack here, so... Even the Haunting Figment would be slightly interesting, but there's a land. Just fixing my mana cost. So look at this double blue, double black, double black, double black. I would really want to have the Contaminated Aquifer. There's a Tolarian Terror with 9 instant of sorceries, really good. But there's a Phyrexian Rager. I mean, I have to take this. It's such a good card. Alright. Well, after the previous pack, this is something quite uninteresting. Now, there's a good green-white card. There's a good black-red card. There's no good card for my deck. I mean, I will pick the Timely Interference. It's okay, but it's a little bit of a disappointing, given that I had to pass 2 very good cards in the previous pack, and then I get this right. So Phyrexian Espionage would be nice, but this is, even though I can't kick it, and I would be able to kick it if I choose to put the Pixie Illusionist in the deck, but I don't think I will. But a 2 mana 2/1 flyer is just you know, efficient enough. I'm gonna take that. Cult Conscript, but I don't think... Yeah, it's gonna be the Terror now. I have 10 ways to make it cheaper, assuming all of that remains in the deck, but even 9 would be fine, so I'm gonna take the Terror right now. The Cult Conscript is okay, definitely, but this is my choice now. Alright, Soar Up, Counterspell again, Splatter Goblin. I don't think I necessarily need any more 2-drops. I have enough of them, I suppose. Yep, I do. Soar Up is decent. Swarm. Okay, let's take the Soar Up. 3 mana draw 2. I don't really like the Academy Wall that much. I don't. I'm gonna take the card draw spell here. And here there's an Atrocity, which I don't think I'm gonna play, but let's put it to the deck for now. Bone Splinters, that's probably gonna be played. Haunting Figment, well, that's gonna be more likely inclusion than the Atrocity there. I have, of course, gone beyond my... I mean, I will play around 23 spells in the deck, and this is now 27 spells. Sadly, I didn't get the land. I really would have wanted to have it. but I had to take, that pack had multiple cards I was gonna pick over the dual land. I just have to hope that I hit these double casters, I mean the mana for these double casters frequently enough with cards like Impulse. And I guess there's a cantrip here, Phyrexian Rages, draw me cards, dig me deeper. Yeah, I think it's, if you have enough card draw, I mean that's also one way to make your, mana a little bit easier, because you have access to more cards in general, and some of those will be, lands. Alright, so let's first count the number of black permanent spells, because I want to know how much I can count on this guy. Assuming I don't cut any of them, although I think I will cut the Atrocity. Am I gonna do that? Probably yes. Okay, so now, other than this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black permanent spells. Now that's not a lot, but maybe I can get 1 or 2 triggers out of this. Yep. Let's see the ups. That's not what I was supposed to do. I'll cut the lands for now, and let's make sure the sideboard didn't have anything I actually want to play in the main deck. That is, I have 1 Battle Rage Blessing there. I'm definitely not main decking 2 of them. I might even cut the one. Now I don't have I have now 13 instants / sorceries, but the only actual payoffs are the Tolarian Terror and the Vortices. I know this thing also cares about, but it's a little bit less relevant. The second ability here is more important, that you can recast this by discarding 2 cards. So I can, the point is I can afford to not play all the instant and sorceries here. I think the first cut is the Battle Rage Blessing. And then there's the Pilfer, which I don't think I wanna. I prefer cards that do affect the board, and I like to use it as a sideboard card against some very problematic cards or some expensive cards that I usually have time to pilfer away if I draw it. Now that means I have 24 cards in here, and this is actually a deck that could play 16 lands. I don't like the fact, though, that I have no dual lands and I have so many double casters for both colors, in fact. 2 for blue, 3 for black. Double casters. So 8/8 mana base is going to mean that I don't get to I don't get to always cast these things on time. But then again, like I said, I have some card draw here. Timely Interference, cheap way to draw a card. This can actually actively dig into a specific kind of land if that's what I need. So this would be now 11 instant and sorceries, which means also that the Honing Figment will be quite often unblockable. Also because most of my instant and sorceries are kind of cards I can just play. But of course, things like Essence Scatter never are gonna make this unblockability matter unless opponent plays a flash creature before I declare attacks on my turn. That's a really rare situation. And then there's things like Shore Up. I wouldn't really just play randomly a Shore Up unless it's gonna like guarantee me the victory to make this unblockable. But then again, I have stuff like Impulse. I can use these on my own turn if I want to make this guy unblockable. Tolarian Kaisers I have to use. I mean, this is the best thing to, bounce something, and then if they have another blocker, I can still make this unblockable. And there's another removal spell I can get the card draw on my turn. So yeah, I have a fairly few, reasonable amount of cards that can be used to make this unblockable without it, feeling awkward to do so. So I'm gonna play exactly this build. This is now 13 creatures, 11 non-creatures, and 16 lands, thanks to the mana curve being actually quite low curve, and then amount of card draw I have here. Should be fine. So let's have another of these straight up 2-color deck. So this is a draft I'm doing actually after my previous one, if you checked it out. So there's no unrecorded drafts between these two. So let's hope that I get another good result with a deck that's only 2 colors, not even a splash. One thing to consider is that, yeah, actually there is something I should consider a little bit here. Pixie Illusionist can help me kick this guy, and there's two other things I might want to kick, which are the two Tolarian Geysers. I might get the life, want to get the life, and then also it helps with the Shadow Prophecies domain. Also it helps kick the Timely Interference. So this is something I could... Is that good enough to consider actually putting to the deck? Also what it does help with the double casters. I mean, turn 4 I could see having 3 swamps and 1 island with this thing, or 3 islands and 1 swamp with this thing, and that would be annoying, for sure. So not only helps it kick this stuff, it helps with my double casters. I'm actually going to play it. The thing is that I need to find a cut for that, though. I think it might be one of the Splatter Goblins. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops and the SS. Yeah, I can cut. I think that's the most. Now, depending on the opponent. Now, I can see a scenario where this is worse than the Splatter Goblin, but I do like the Scry quite a bit. Going to game ones of the matches, I will prefer this split, and then if I want to play Splatter Goblins, I can replace the Vivisector with the second one, assuming, well, for example, if the opponent has a bunch of 1 toughness creatures. But yeah, this is now the deck, so I chose to play the Illusionist because it helps with those 2 things I mentioned, both kicker, off-color kicker and double casters. Well, with the Impulse, I think this is a keep. I can find a swamp if I don't naturally draw, and I can even keep mana up for a SS Scatter and then use the Impulse if I don't need it. Or maybe I just draw a swamp and play the Toxic Abomination, which I can't do. I really need the swamp now with the Phyrexian Rager, so I'm not going to counter any 2-drop. Yep. Yeah, Defiler, yeah, this is easily a swamp here. Okay, this is just a 2-2 which I can, you know, trade with the... I can trade with the Fraser here. Now things are fine. If I draw a 4th land, rather than play the Lookout, I think it's gonna be a 2-drop with Essence Scatter up. Oh, but it depends on what they do now and all that. Alright, let's see if that does anything. That's fine. Alright, so no 4th land, because this would have been, now that they didn't have a creature, it would have been a perfect spot to leave up mana for a Essence Scatter, but I'm not going to, you know, not play anything here. Besides, I can bounce something and then maybe counter it later on. For example, at 5 mana, I can just bounce a creature and then counter it on their turn. Okay, they make me discard 2. Interesting. I guess the bounce spell is actually now the least important card, and then one of the 2-drops, probably this can attack into a 3 toughness creature, so maybe that's something. Let's lose those guys. Okay, so it's a little bit annoying that I don't, because I have the sweet SS Scatter here. Although I guess in the previous turn I wouldn't have been able to counter this thing, but I did discard the Geyser here. Okay, so this is the game we're gonna play. Sure. I mean, I know I'm gonna discard all my playables here, but these are too good to pass up. I'm gonna draw a land at some point. Now all I need is that they don't have a third of those aggressive urges, because if they are gonna play like multiple aggressive urges, that's gonna change the way I sideboard. Okay, that's just an application. Trade with whatever. I could bounce it though to hit a land drop actually. Make them go. Yeah, actually that is a better one, because I do wanna hit my land drops here. That's a 4 mana thing also. If they have another discard effect, is there any reason where I would want to... Do I need 5? I mean, the scenario here is that if I don't drop the swamp, I might draw a land, and then I don't need anything. I don't need 5 mana do anything. If I draw a land, I don't have any use for 5 mana, whatever spell I'm gonna play. So I'm gonna keep this in hand, because if they do make me discard, I mean, I don't expect them to do that, but if they do make me discard, then I would just, okay. I would still discard a land here. But now, at least if they remove this guy, I'm getting a card out of it. So they have this discard and removal stuff, alright. Have a 2 mana. But I'm at 11 here only because these discard spells they played, they were lightnings. They kicked. I lost 3 per spell there, and of course I took 2 life loss from the Toxic Abomination. Now, what is the line in here? I kinda want to just extinguish this guy. Although they kept 2 mana up for a reason, I think. They might have the, you know, the indestructible thing. Okay, let's just do this. And then should I keep? I want to play the Figment if possible. I can take the damage here, even though I lose 1 life here. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this, hoping to draw a land to play the Figment as well. Okay. Perfect. Now I should be in a fairly decent shape. Okay, that's gonna be the entire turn, and I have a victory now, unless they have a 1 mana spell. Okay, yeah, well, Rona's Vortex. I can just bounce that thing if I want to. So they have something for 1. I mean, whatever for 1 they might have is not going to... I mean, I can't just use this Vortex here, right? There's no way they can do anything against that. Yeah. Okay, so I got hit by a bunch of lightnings, but the issue for the opponent was that I had played cards onto the creatures before they started this, so they basically, instead of affecting the board, affected my hand, and while I did, that hurt me. It wasn't, you know, I had to discard good cards, but I was able to, you know, tempo them out. So they have a combination of removal and discard, and of course some creatures too. But that means I'm gonna use negates. I think maybe even both, actually. But I have to also then... Maybe the Bone Splinters isn't gonna be super amazing. I mean... well, the one card I got, there's also the Gardener in here, but it's just a 4/3. But Bone Splinters is a good backup. I can bounce their stuff. I have 2 Rona's Vortex, and yeah, I have actually a number of interaction here, so I'm gonna actually cut the Bone Splinters. I don't really like 2 for 1ing myself if they make me discard cards. And then I have to still cut a card. I'm thinking about this and Scatter, but it's quite nice with the bounces. I can even use with the Rona's Vortex when I don't have the full 4 for this. I can just bounce with 1 mana and then counter with this and Scatter using 2 extra. So Vivisector versus the 2/1 Goblin. I do like this Christ, so maybe I won't be sideboarding in the other Splatter Goblin. But I have 40 seconds time to think about my second cut. I definitely will play the Shadow Prophecy because they have the discard stuff. Now I could cut the Essence Scatter still, but I feel like I don't want to. Timely Interference, that maybe is the least important card, even though it's one of the cantrips that helps me hit my double casters, but that's still maybe not so important here. I didn't see there a lot of ways for creatures to battle each other there, or at least in a way where the -1/-0 is gonna matter too much. Okay, this is a fantastic hand. I will take a bunch of damage here, but I have a 2-drop. I can refill if I don't throw anything else on 3, and then this is a 4-drop there, and then I can use the Extinguish the Light. There might be a Lightning Strike coming up because they had a stop there on the side. Let's see if they have an aggressive 3-drop, because I will not able, if I don't draw a creature I want. Okay, that's actually just fine. That is super fine. Actually, Oh, this is tough. I have to, for now, before I draw cards, I have to decide if I want to leave. I have 8 mana base, I have an equal amount of both. I guess I want to have the lookout for sure happening. I don't know when I need removal, so I'm gonna discard 2 swamps here. Hopefully that's not gonna come back and bite me. Classic. I draw exactly the sort I didn't. Well, anyway, let's take these 2. I'm gonna draw a swamp at some point, and I don't currently have anything I even need to kill. Alright, so now I'll play the lookout. I'm happy to trade. Although they can pump it twice, I can't block. They can threaten the pump. I will go to 14 here then. Now I could make them use their entire turn and still net a card, but that's not really... That's not what I need to do here, right? I'll just take it. Okay, they play those a little bit inefficient cards. Oh, come on, still... So I have drawn actually 2 islands after I chose to discard the swamps here. Alright. Anyway, I have a negate up now, so drawing a land is good. Good news. Now, sad thing is, I can't really block these guys. I mean, I just have to draw a swamp and kill at least one of them at some point. Yeah, I mean, I can lose to these guys. Finally, there's the land. Sadly, I can't gain 3 life if I kill these. Well, I mean, I could let that happen. I'm not winning this race, I don't think. Because next turn I'm gonna play Extinguish the Light. I'm dealing 5 though. They're dealing... Okay, fine, I'm gonna negate it. The thing I was thinking about it so much is that the reason is that I would have still netted a card if this dies, but I feel that maybe I can still try the race because I can deal 5 without using any mana, and I have these own removal spells here now. So especially now with the Rona's Vortex here. And then the Tolerant Terror, so I can, yeah, if they're smart, they're gonna pump both an equal amount. Let's see if they have a land drop though, on that land. Okay, that's fine. So they're gonna make both of these into 3/3s. I will kill one of them, and then on the next turn I can kill the other one. Oh, they choose not to. Or they want to leave up mana up for their Death Touch. Sure. Let's kill this. A really aggressive play would have been to kill the swamp and gain 3 life, but I think I have with the Tolerant Terror here, I'm in a pretty decent shape here anyway. Show up. That's a good one. So yeah, I allow them to trade here. I could have of course used the Rona's Vortex for that, but I try to just get rid of the apparition here. Okay. So I can actually bounce that thing. Wow. And then play the Tolerant Terror, and they have to recast that thing. Sweet. So this is really sweet. Ideally I would have even drawn a land so I could have kept the sword up, but this has ward too, so it's gonna be expensive to get rid of this guy. I still have the Vortex, so I wasn't concerned about you know, this actually killing me, because I do have the Vortex. I will keep the land in my hand because they still could have those aggressive sabotages. And now I can use the Vortex and the SS Scatterer regardless. That means I can't use the Vortex, SS Scatterer and Shore Up, but I don't think I have to use all of them. that's of course lethal attack. Okay, so that was... yeah, they played like multiple. I could see playing one of these, but playing multiples of these is, especially when they had two of them on the battlefield, quite awkward because it's really mana intensive to use them, and they are just 4 mana 2/2s otherwise. But yeah, this is it is a legit strategy to play this removal / card advantage play. Just play this kind of discard effects and have a lot of removal and just outgrind the opponent. But I'm not sure if the tattered apparitions are the correct creatures to perform the outgrinding with. Although I guess they are late in the game, somewhat good. But anyway, an interesting match. I would love to have this hand, but only one land, and yeah, but no. Even if I draw any land, this is not gonna do necessarily anything, because if I draw a swamp, I can't even cast Mystic. So I will mulligan that and keep this. This is still a decent one. Now the question is, I'm probably just going to cantrip this thing, so better get rid of that. So I have the 3 lands already for the Rager here. Okay. Hello. Okay, now they played something. Okay. Let's see if this gets countered or not. Alright. This is good now. The opponent hasn't done anything. I assume they have some kind of a... Well, they are domain deck. Now they could play a 4/6, which I can just either bounce or kill, but let's first see if they are gonna do that. No, they have a 3/2. Well, I'm fine with trading with that guy. And if they don't block, just play the Rona. Has been arrested. Okay. So I can play the Mystic and then the Shadow Prophecy. I don't feel like bouncing that guy. Oh, there is... Yeah, so now I could have a means to kick this at some point, but I would have to play this as my kind of a last card in the hand. So if I play the Illusionist and then the Prophecy, I draw 2 more cards. I don't know when I'm gonna actually... When I'm going to... Well, who knows, I might still, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm not attacking with the Rager. So I'll do it like this, can't kick it. And then I have, Extinguish the Light up and Shadow Prophecy up, whichever I need. Sure. And yeah, this can, give the Shadow Prophecy away to dig deeper, but now I have to decide if I want to. Well, I mean, that's let them scry at least. I can't do anything about this thing. I should maybe use sadly the Extinguish the Light on the Iconoclast. It's a little bit too expensive otherwise. I mean, life total wise to take this, and when am I gonna even block it? Yeah. No blocks, let's kill it. I gain 3 life here too. Although I lose 1 because of the Elas. Right, so now... do I wanna gain 3 life and bounce it? Oh, no, because I will play both of these here, and if I use 4 mana for this, that's not gonna work. So let's bounce that guy first. But I also could... Oh, I could also bounce Phyrexian Rager and cast it. I mean, that's what I should do, right? That's a target creature. I can target my own stuff. Oh yeah, this is good. Come back, get the card, play this and this. And I can now block the Elas. Oh, there's this thing in my deck too. Okay, that was the... Yeah, that was the good stuff. I'm still at 17 also, so even if I... Yeah, I'm not too worried about stuff in here. Whatever they have, let them use it. They're down to one card after this is said and done. Joint forces, sure. Sure. Alright. So this is the good stuff. Attack. Play this thing and then I could actually... I actually should play this first, because I might have a land drop, and then... Yeah, I could have also, you know, given myself 3 cards to look from, but it doesn't matter now. I don't mind a land here. Well, 2 lands maybe. Whatever. Point is, now I'll do this, and I can keep up the Rona's Vortex. That was the reason that if I need to use the Rona's... Oh, SSK. That was the final card. That was unexpected, but I guess the contaminated aquifer in there... Well, I guess I saw some blue cards there too. Yes, I can take 2 from the Elas. I still have interaction if they have something nasty. If they have some nasty top decks there. That is so super nasty. It's gonna give plus 4 unless they get a mountain. Okay, so they can get the full pump from the chapter 3, but I can use my Rona's Vortex for that as a response. Okay, Splatter Goblin. Well, that's a sweet one, because I can block this and kill the 1/1. Anyhow. Not gonna Mystic yet, of course. And I can use the Bone Splinters to sack the Splatter Goblin and you know, kill this with the trigger. Okay. Another Rager. Let's do this first. Maybe should I attack? No, they can block with the 1/1. That's not good. So if this works this way, they're not gonna have anything for the chapter 3. No targets. Okay. Shore Up is I might have to discard the Shore Up to draw 2 from this Battle with Mystic, but it's a trade I would be doing. Okay, Coral Colony. I guess it does block the Rager, so maybe I'm supposed to... I mean, I don't like to do this, but I'm gonna want to kick this thing, and I need to use all my cards, so let's get rid of it. At least it does allow me to continue with the damage, but... I mean, I guess I'm going to... Well, wait a minute, this is actually not so bad. I mean, of course it's still not so great either, but what I can do in here is make this thing into a mountain. Then, because this thing untaps it, so let's untap it. Now I can do this. Kick. That was fine. And I can still, you know, at least use that thing. Oh, there's also the Defiler. First time in the event. So they're actually playing SS Scatter with like how many blue sources? I guess there's the Impede Momentum too. So this is just a straight up domain deck with you know, a ton of different colors. As you know, because I see green, I see white, I see blue, and I see even this Elas, which is like black as well. So usually domain deck should be like main. They should have 1 or 2 main colors. It seems like they are playing, and there's also double white in there. Seems this opponent is playing like a cards from all over there. I guess I didn't see an actual red card other than the red kicker, but they still have a basic mountain in the deck. So anyhow, does that affect my sideboarding in any way? mostly about negates, because I'm thinking about the negate. Maybe one negate instead of the SS scatter could work. Maybe the timely interference isn't... Okay, I like the idea of playing a negate, but do I want to have two of them? Do I want to have a pilfer? Are my creatures gonna be outclassed? Not necessarily. I especially want to have two early drops to block this thing so it doesn't get too much damage in. So I could see playing negate, I could see playing pilfer, splatter goblin, and battle rage blessing, but is there something particularly bad in here? I guess the shore up. Yeah, I didn't see that much, you know, interaction there. So I should maybe take the shore up away and play. Let's just play the pilfer. I wanna see what they're having in their hand. So with one SS scatter, with one negate, no second negate. This is gonna be the post sideboard build for the deck. Well, because of the Rager, I'm not gonna mulligan this. This is effectively an 8-card hand thanks to the Rager, if you can think of it like that. Plus I have the Terror here. Oh, and look at this, I kept a 5-lander and didn't draw a land immediately. What? 2 non-lands and I get the perfect curve. So I kept the 5 lands and the expensive drop and a 3 drop. I drew a 2 and 4 drops to, you know, well, that's a pretty good one for the opponent, but regardless, I had a very good draw steps there. Okay, no unblockability yet. At some point I will at least be able to cast the Shadow Prophecy on my turn and deal 2 with the Figment. Okay, now I see more of these dual lands. They had a surprisingly low amount of them in the previous game. So they actually... Oh, they missed the land drop, that's why they wanted to scry there. They scry to top though. Okay, well, let's just play the Lookout first. I can bounce this later if I want to bounce it. It might not even be what I want to do, but let's see what they have. Okay, that's allowing them to get to the game in terms of land drops at least. So just draw 2, then this is unblockable, and then I can play the Illusionist. Sounds good. I could also play the Splatter Goblin. Let's attack first. This Goblin doesn't do anything unless I specifically will Vortex away this, but they are going to have... No, I'm gonna play the Illusions. That's gonna be more useful. I'll play the Island in case I want to play the Vortex. They could have like a fight spell or something that makes me use the Vortex. Plaza of Heroes. This only does something with legendary permanents and spells. Hexproof and indestructible. Okay, well, they have no legendary stuff, so I don't have to worry about that right now. That one is legendary though. I guess I'm gonna Vortex it away because it's going to be annoying otherwise. I want to be able to attack with my flyers. Also, that makes my Haunting Figment unblockable. And then I can play the Splatter Goblin. I don't have to worry about them. We're attacking with some pumped up token here. I can just take it. It's 4, total of 5/5. I go to 12. So I play the Terror. This is gonna be able to... So the Illusionist doing some work here. Assuming it's gonna survive here, but of course, but I will be able to kick this thing. Not on the next turn, I will play the Terror first. Elas, okay, they can gain some life with this thing. Ooh, I don't have black permanents, but yeah, that's pretty good. That said, can't play the Terror if I cast that, so That has menace though. Now I have 4 in the air. I have no instant sorceries for the figment. If I attack with this, they block with the colony, and then this is gonna die. If I attack with everything, they have a free block on the figment, which I don't like. Now terror against the Death Toucher isn't that useful, so maybe I should. Well, let's first attack with and well, this and the illusionist for sure. Oh, I can do this because the colony can only block one of these, and I don't mind trades with that thing. So if I also attack with the figment, they can kill it for free. I wouldn't mind if it was a regular 2-1, but it can be also unblockable, so I don't want... I mean, if they were completely tapped out, things would be different in that case. But now it's possible. They have interaction here, so I don't want them to freely block the figment and then, you know, kill some of other my guys, and then I'm gonna save the haunting figment because I know it can contribute in terms of you know, unblockable damage, and this is fine. Yes, they have a battle blessing. I don't mind if that goes with the Phyrex and Rager here. Get rid of this thing, and then now that they do have a Death Toucher in here. This needs 2 blockers, but it's cheaper, that's the thing here. Because next turn I can play the Defiler of Flesh, but I will draw a card too. Okay, I'll play the more expensive card. Now this can be, you know, cheaper later in the game. And there's also a total reasonable thing to do with the Battlewing Mystic, just to cast it right now. Is that something I should consider? I don't think it is, because they still can get some big reach guy for it. I mean, imagine them playing the 4-4, green 4-4 common with reach. Then the Battlewing Mystic doesn't really contribute that much here. So I want to draw the cards with it. The opponent isn't currently pressuring me, not with the mill, not with the life loss. Okay, so this is now something I can do. I'll cast this right now. Let's see if they have an Essence Scatter, by the way. They could have it. Oh, that also, you know, counters a spell. I get to draw a card. There is that. Vortex is quite decent. So they still have no way to kill a flyer here. Let's do this. I'm still waiting with the... Oh, this could be unblockable. I actually... Okay, so this is a lethal attack if they have nothing with the 2 mana here. They have a couple of legendaries now though. So if I cast this, I can bounce the Elas. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, that is gonna... First I do this. They have the mill... No, this... Add 1 mana of any color. And yeah... Add mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. So they can add, you know, the blue because of the tie. So the fact they have stops there, priority stops, is that they have this ability up right now. But regardless, I'm gonna bounce the... This is now me doing the opposite of what I just talked about. This is not me playing safe. I am going for the lethal attack here. They lost the Death Toucher, so for example, I have my flyers and unblockable creature are lethal now, and then they have to jump block the terror here. So let's see if they have something or not. They did not. Okay, yeah, I really like the figment in these decks that have like around 10 ways to make it unblockable. It's surprisingly relevant that it can just deal 2 damage a turn. Not every turn, but here and there. Sadly, again, another one-lander which... well, I mean, if I draw a land in 2 draw steps and every land in this deck enters untapped, there are no duels. So I could play the Battling Mystic and then of course there's a Scatter. I can even buy some time with the Rona's Vortex. And these are 3 mana spells. I already have 1 island for this double caster. So in terms of a keepable 1-land hand, this is something that you could keep. On the flip side, if I don't draw a land in 2 draw steps, I'm behind. Even though I can bounce one of their creatures. If this was a 6-card hand, I would keep it. A 7-card hand, I won't. I will keep, go to 6. And this is a much, much better hand. Now, I have more... Don't I have more black double cast? I think I have 3 black double casters in the deck. Creature, creature, and a spell. And then I have 2 blue double casters, creature, creature. So it's really here and there, which I should throw away, I guess. I have both lands, I have 6 of them remaining in the deck. So, I mean, it's a coin flip. Last time I no, I should actually... Yeah, so I have more black double casters, so that's a tiebreaker here. And now it's time to draw 3 swamps before the first island. That said, I don't have either of those 2 blue double casters in here, so... Haha. Well, no harm done yet. But if I get the Vortices now and then the... Okay, that was a sweet one. Always nice to curve out. Vortices and then the 4-mana 3/2 flyer. The blue one. If I get those before the second island, that will be okay, that's a good yeah, that's this uncommon that gets you a land, and it's a land with a basic land type, meaning it can get you there. Come on, dual lands, common duals. All right, so kind of an interesting. It will make the terror cheaper, I guess, because I'm gonna draw a card here. I'm gonna keep it on top. Because I could see my turn 5, for example, being one where I play a Rager and leave an SS Scatter up. Because next turn I can play the Figment. And definitely will, because they didn't play even a creature here, which means I can play a Figment. No, that's not how it works. I would have needed an island for that. Well, you know, they did nothing. I'm gonna pass up with counterspell up. If they play still nothing, or no creature at least, then so be it. But I don't want to play these and let them resolve something amazing. There are not that many non-creatures. Well, there are some sagas, which could be annoying if they played, but I assume they have a creature. Now they just have to play the one that's... because they know that I could have a counter spell here, so okay, I'm not giving them another land, so let's do this right. Because that was an option there. That was an option because next turn I could, you know, play the Rager and still leave the mana up. But also what I can do now is I can play the Rager and the Figment. So that's also a good swap one. Okay, fine. So next turn I can play the Dominaria United. I can even use this and still play it because it will make it cheaper to cast. But of course my creatures are quite small, so they have to only resolve something that is like a 2/3 or something, and I can't attack. But they actually choose to... Right. What does this mean? They have all the colors. I mean... this is one of those things. Because there is a mass removal effect in this format which can kill the Dominaria Terror. It's the red double caster, but they don't have a second red. It's possible they have a lot of blue cards in their hand. So I'm gonna go for this and hope they don't have the deal 5 damage to everything. Because if they drop a mountain and deal 5 damage to everything. Okay, they had that. They get some life back. But at least now I have my 5/5 in here. So let's see what's their next play. Well, that was a good play. I mean... okay, well, I have a blockers for those, but now if they kill my flyer, I'm gonna have to... Sadly, the interference, I mean, if they would block with multiple grids. Plus, it's actually still enough for them to block with 2. Even with the interference, they won't be able to... I mean, I won't be able to kill more than 1 token here. So... yeah, that was a... besides mass removal, this was a way to... stay in the game. Okay, so what's this? They're gonna give this first strike, aren't they? I wish I had the timing interference up, because I think they're gonna have the +3/+0 and first strike. They can recast it once. No, I can't just take 2, but I also want them to use the card in their hand. But the Rona is also a very good blocker on the 5/5, or the 3/3s. But then again, I can recast it. So I'm gonna do it like this. Make them use the card in their hand. Colossal. Sure. Some penny. Okay, well, let's first draw some cards, shall we? Well, that's not bad stuff, but... yeah, if I attack with the terror, they're gonna attack block with, you know, multiple, not with more than 2 of these tokens. So let's do this, and the root wall is probably something I will need, because it's gonna be a 7/7. I need to... okay, now we can do that. I mean, I probably have to Rona's Vortex the root wall away with the kicker. But am I gonna survive this turn? That's the question. So if I do it like this is like the way to take their resources away. This is 9, 10, 12. Sorry, 14. 14 is coming through, and then they will use this, and that's 19. And if I bounce a token, that's not gonna be enough. Yeah, the Herd Migration. I have played actually a lot of times with that card myself. I mean, I have to bounce the root. Problem is they can still recast the root wall. That is an actual problem here. But I guess I'm still doing it. At least they have to use all the mana for it, almost. Oh, they cannot let this happen. Well, I mean, sure. So it's not like I'm gonna survive the next attack. Bone rattle. Yeah, I mean, losing the Herd Migration with full domain is totally acceptable. I don't have an attack here. Maybe I should have used the... no, I couldn't use this before damage, because then they would have used this. And I didn't have the Rona's Vortex mana after that. So I'm gonna draw a card and see what it's... if that's gonna somehow help me. All of the creatures are lethal. I don't have more than 9 damage. Yep, okay. Well, that was a rough one against the herd migration, but that happened. Yeah, that's a lot of ways to make negate work. So I'm gonna play that, and I don't think the splatter goblin is needed. I don't think I do like the essence scatter, I think. Bone rattle, for example, is nice to counter. So timely interference again goes away. And this is the set of cards I'm going to use. I'm wondering if I should play the menace creature just because it's a little easier to deal some damage through it. Because I of course will lose the late game against this kind of deck. There's no way to win. I need to win fast. But I guess I play the Vivisector. I mean, I was thinking about not playing the Vivisector and playing the Atrocity instead. But I think I like what I see here now. Let's do that. I mean, the only reason I lost that game was the herd migration. If they didn't draw it or have it in hand, I would have been, of course, in a much greater shape. That was basically just that ended the game. I'm gonna keep this because the Impulse might find me the swamp, which I can then use to play the Shadow Prophecy, and then I'm close to casting the Tolerant Terror. So, okay, I don't even need the Impulse. That's better because I can now just play the Prophecy. Let's see if they have a cheap removal spell on my aggressive 2-drop. No. Alright, well, Rager even better actually. Add to board here. And land is good. Okay, so I'm having a very good draw in this game. Let's see if it's gonna hold. Okay, Squee is annoying. So do I wanna kill the 1-1 or trade with the Root Swallow? Yeah, the Squee is really annoying. Alright. Because it's just gonna, make the token every turn. I guess I can't trade with the Root Swallow, even though they can, start threatening the pump there. But I guess I just have to raise. Now, because of Talas Lookout, this is actually not so bad, but the Squee, when you don't have a good blocker for it, I mean, a free block, it can really make things difficult. But I do have a 7 damage here, so if they attack with everything, well, they're gonna have a blocker of some kind, I'm sure. Maybe I can. This thing has haste, but they pretty much correctly assessed that they might be. Although if they did attack with a 3/3 haster, I would be at 8 now. I wouldn't have a safe attack here. Anyway, I'm gonna dig something. Maybe the bounce spell with an impulse. Yeah, the bounce spell would be the best. I have 2 of them, but only a shore up in here. I guess I will play the shore up. I mean, bone splinters. I need to sack the Rager. Shore up doesn't do anything too much. Yup. So the Squee is this game. If the previous game was won by the herd migration, this is actually Squeeze, the only card that is going to give them this much damage this fast. My flyer plan actually, although I did draw this pretty luckily, but my flyer plan would have actually been very good here otherwise. But this is just too much pressure, and they can't even do that. Sadly, I won't have a negate up. If I had negate up, I would like my chances a lot more. But now I can play only the terror and hope that they have nothing. Okay. So I have 2 blockers and I take 2 from the tokens. I have to attack though, that's the only chance. Yeah. Okay, this was, like I said, without the squee I wouldn't be at such a low life total. So this is now, I mean, me hoping that they don't have anything that immediately allows them to win. Yeah. Okay. That was a rough one. Yeah, a couple of rares there were now problematic because if they did so much damage. This was hasty 2-2. I couldn't trade with. I mean, they didn't have mana to recast it, but I mean, I guess I could have traded with that. Yeah, I could have traded. Then the first token that I blocked would have survived. They had the root. Voila, I lose my Rager. But no, I mean, I don't think it would have helped much. I needed some form of interaction here, and I didn't get it. Okay, so that ended my win streak. But 2-1 again, a good one. Good one, certainly, as a result. So, sadly, the Vortices, which I first picked in a draft, I didn't really get to use it. Did I have it like... I mean, I don't recall using it much. I mean, it's not amazing. It's often going to be a 1-4 and 2-4 early in the game, but sometimes it is going to be a 6-4 or something that you only use 3 mana to cast it. Also, it does make some of my spells cheaper, so it is a really good one. I didn't get to get the trigger not even once with this guy, okay. But hey, my commons and uncommons still were good enough to win the first 2 matches, so I'm happy. And the opponent got, you know, those specific rares, which kind of turned the game over them. So if they didn't have those, but then again, I mean, of course, if you play the domain deck, you will have access to a bunch of different rares. And they actually were mostly a red-green deck, and the rares also were red and green. So it wasn't like they were a wild 5-color domain deck. They were mostly red and green, and they had a good mana curve also for that. So it was just a very good deck they had there. I have to give it to them. Anyway, that was it for this draft, and I will see you in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.